Today, I'm challenging myself to batch an entire week of Instagram content in just a few short hours. I used to try to film a whole month in one day, but I have found that a weekly rhythm works so much better for me. Sticking to a weekly schedule helps me stay reactive to trends while still maintaining a healthy balance in my life. This video is my honest behind-the-scenes look at how I manage my workflow and the tools I use to make it happen. I will even show you a clever tool that has completely changed how I handle editing my clips. My shot list for this week is actually pretty light, thanks to my secret weapon, an organized B-roll library. I am filming a quick product highlight today, so I am setting up my tripod to film myself setting up my tripod. When I am filming, I always try to capture good coverage of every step, so I have plenty of options for punchy edits later. I prefer using a mirrorless camera with a wide lens, but using your smartphone is totally fine if that is what you have. If you are shooting with your phone, try to use a flip screen or just make sure you are capturing clean angles. Building a B-roll library is essential because it allows you to fill in the gaps whenever you do not have the energy to shoot fresh footage. Next, I am moving on to record the voiceover for my next video, which is a key part of my content calendar. To keep the quality high, I use a small wireless microphone receiver plugged directly into my phone. A pro tip for voiceovers: if you mess up a line, do not restart the whole script, just go back to the beginning of the current sentence. Starting the sentence over makes the editing process much smoother and keeps the tone natural. After recording, I always make sure to take a quick coffee break before diving into the organization phase. Staying organized is the backbone of this entire process, so I have a very specific folder structure on my hard drive. I categorize everything by month and title so I can find any clip in seconds when I need it later. Now it is time for the editing phase, where I prefer using a desktop computer for better precision and speed. I pull all my assets into my project file, including music, sound effects, and my B-roll bins. My first pass on the edit is entirely focused on tightening the audio by cutting out pauses and breaths. I often use an overlap trick where I slightly blend the end of one sentence with the start of the next for a snappy flow. With the audio clean, I start layering my B-roll footage underneath to bring the narrative to life. Having an organized library means I can pull footage from old projects in seconds instead of wasting time reshooting. Once the visuals are in place, I use auto caption tools to save time before doing a final polish pass. Before I export, I always save a clean still frame to use as my cover image, which helps ensure my feed looks consistent. Finding trending audio can be time consuming, so I usually scan the app or use the professional dashboard for inspiration. Once everything is exported, I move the files back to my phone and load them into my app as drafts. This brings me to Vizard, a tool that has truly changed how I batch my content creation workflow. Vizard uses AI to identify viral clips from longer videos, which saves me hours of hunting through my own footage. It even helps me schedule posts across platforms and gives me a unified calendar to manage everything in one place. It is not perfect, and I still like to manually check the final edits, but it removes the tedious parts of the process. Finally, I use Canva to design my carousel posts because it gives me so much more control over the layout and aesthetic. Once everything is polished, I keep my captions ready in my content calendar app for quick copying and pasting. I prefer to post manually when I can because interacting with comments right when the video goes live really boosts engagement. That is my entire batching flow, from filming new clips to organizing, editing, and final scheduling. Remember, this week was a bit low effort, and that is perfectly okay because consistency is the real win. If you are just starting out, build that B-roll library, find a simple file structure, and just start creating. Thanks for hanging out with me today while I got my work done. Go out there, find a rhythm that works for you, and make something you truly enjoy.